Chemical engineering is all about the conversion of materials into useful things for industry and for people like you and I in society. It often involves chemical reactions, and that's actually where chemical engineering gets its name. However, we often, as chemical engineers, also work on the development of processes, and so chemical engineering is sometimes also called process engineering. Chemical engineers work in a huge range of different aspects of society, and some of those are the energy sector. So historically, chemical engineers worked a lot in the oil and gas sector and in producing energy from fossil fuels such as coal in a coal-fired power station. More and more these days, chemical engineers are working in the clean energy sector. These are really exciting jobs where chemical engineers are using their skills, especially in the conversion of energy and the analysis of systems, to work on things like solar cells and the production of the vast quantities of advanced materials that are used around the world to make solar cells. Chemical engineers also work in other aspects of the clean energy sector, such as wind and hydropower, and other types of clean energy that are only now being discovered and researched in laboratories, just like here at Monash University right now. Chemical engineers play a really important role in the water sector. This ranges from working at the laboratory scale, developing new technologies for the production of clean water from salty water or dirty water, but also working in the design and the construction and the operation of enormous water desalination plants, such as the ones that are providing water to most of the capital cities around Australia right now. Chemical engineers are also helping to close the loop in the water cycle, so taking wastewater and treating it so it can be used for other beneficial purposes, like agriculture or even in industry. And chemical engineers have a unique role to play in developing the latest, efficient and effective but very low cost technologies to bring clean water to the developing world. Currently, there are more than 1 billion people in the developing world that don't have access to clean water every single day, and chemical engineers have a key role in bringing that number down. Chemical engineers are really involved in keeping us healthy at every stage of our lives. For example, they work a lot in the food and drink industry, helping to make products and the packaging that makes products taste better, they're more nutritious, they last longer, and they're better for us to eat. Chemical engineers are also heavily involved in the pharmaceutical industry, and in fact, if you want to work in the pharmaceutical industry, this multi-billion-dollar industry, a chemical engineering degree is one of the best ways to get in there. Chemical engineers also play a key role in what's called the advanced materials section. In this way, they help to discover new materials with other types of engineers and scientists, but they play a particularly critical role in taking the discovery and the way that those materials are made at a small scale in the lab, for example a few grams each day, and scaling that up so that they can be made in kilograms or tons or thousands of tons per day, so that those materials can be used in the latest high-tech devices and applications that allow us to have the high quality of life that we enjoy today. The final little section of chemical engineering that I wanted to talk about is a really emerging and newer one called bioprocessing. This is where we take waste or specially produced organic materials and we convert it into high-value fuels or chemicals or plastics or even pharmaceutical products. This is a really exciting development, and actually it's helping to make society much more sustainable, because some of the things like fuel that goes into our cars that in the past have been made from fossil fuel or currently are made from fossil fuels like crude oil can in the future be made from renewable sources like crop waste. These are just a few examples of the areas that chemical engineers work in. So to recap, chemical engineering is about converting things, converting material into useful things for industry and for society, and it's doing those conversions using chemical reactions, hence the name chemical engineering.